Hello and welcome to Yellow Sticker Dinner, the channel where I try to make fun and interesting recipes out of stuff I find in the reduce section. Today I'm going to try to combine all of these stuff into a hot dog. So first things first, I got these reduced mushrooms, 27 cents, and I was thinking about this and I'm not sure whether to kind of cook these up or not, cook them down, I don't know which way I want to put it. And I think I will. Basically, right, I've got these 27 cents mushrooms. I had this big bag of onions. There's only two left. They were 39 cents. I got this roll, was originally 60 cents. I got it for 15 cents. This miso paste, which I'm going to throw in, that was reduced. Well, that was only €1. And I'm going to kind of bulk it out with this vital wheat gluten flour, which I'll get to later on. And basically, my plan today was to try to combine all these stuff in the NutriBullet to make a kind of a patty that I can then roll out into a hot dog size shape and then stick in this bad boy and eat it with some ketchup, which is also reduced right there, 25 cents for this fancy bottle. And basically, I'm not sure whether I need to cook these mushrooms or not. And I think I will. And I don't know if it's redundant. The reason why I'm going to cook them is because I feel that they're going to lose a lot of moisture, in a good way, if I cook them. And it'll make a more intense, mushroomy kind of flavor. So I've got this hob on. Mushrooms can go straight in. They're already pre-sliced. They seem pretty clean. And I'll just cook them up for a couple of minutes, nothing crazy, and see how we get on. I don't think it's going to hurt to cook these. I don't think it's going to hurt the recipe if I cook them. This, by the way, this whole recipe, I would say probably a higher than 50% chance of total failure. It's a risky one, you know what I mean? But it's more fun that way. And then in the meantime anyway, I'm just going to grab one of these onions, top and tail it, and just use half of it for now. Get rid of that thick outer layer of skin. I can go in the compost. And I'm just going to like really roughly chop this and throw it straight into the NutriBullet. And this can go in raw. And I'm also, excuse me, I'm also worried if I should be doing this as well, cooking this, but who knows. Let's get this NutriBullet on the go anyway. So, I hope I explain what I'm trying to do. Combine the mushrooms and the onions with the flour to make a vegetable medley type hot dog patty. Don't know if patty's not the right word, sausage. Totally vegan, as I am. Had some coffee. Got to got to put this away before filming. But I'll leave it there for now and wash it properly later on because I don't want to do my dishes in front of you, because the worst part of cooking is the dishes and nobody likes doing the dishes. And then I'm going to use the rest of this onion, the other half, and I will fry this up. But I'm going to fry it up as a topping for the hot dog. Because, you know, you have a hot dog, ketchup, mustard, and fried onions. And my secret ingredient today is vital wheat gluten. If you're a vegan or even a vegetarian, you've probably used it or heard of it before. If not, you probably have seen it on the menu without realizing it. Vital wheat gluten, it's just here, is it's actually pure gluten. So this is not gluten-free. It's basically pure gluten. What they do is they get whole wheat flour and kind of wash off the flour until all that's left is the gluten part. And it's used in an awful lot of stuff. Particularly like anytime you go to any nice restaurant that does, not a restaurant, like a bar or something like that, like if they do good quality vegan wings, like chicken wings, they'll often use vital wheat gluten flour to make a stuff called seitan. And I've used it in the past before. It's really good. It's lovely. It's very, very healthy. I know gluten-free is a diet at the moment, and I have no opinion on that. If that's the one you want to do, that's up to you. If you're celiac, obviously, stay away from that stuff. But I personally have no issues with gluten itself, so I don't mind consuming it. But it's incredibly healthy, really low fat, really low carbs. It's something like 75% protein. So it's just, you know, I think it's incredibly healthy, and it makes a great meat texture. You kind of make it into like a bread dough with water, and I'm hoping that this stuff will bind all this stuff together. So let's get those mushrooms. I don't necessarily need to cook them for ages, you know what I mean? I just want to kind of help get rid of some of the moisture. And I'll throw in a nice serving of this miso paste, which I got reduced as well. And the miso paste itself, I actually don't know what that is, if I'm honest. It's some sort of fermented soybeans, I think. It's kind of like a Marmite type thing. But it kind of gives an umami, a savory, meaty flavor. Because if you want a hot dog, you want to be meaty, you know? Alright, these mushrooms have been cooked enough for my liking. You know, maybe, like, you know, I might necessarily eat them like that, but they will be cooked again. So I'm going to throw these straight into my blender. And then, so the onions I'm hoping will add the moisture. Just make sure I get every drop of that. And then I'm also just going to get my little spatula again and just kind of smush it all down to make sure it all kind of gets in there. So yeah, like I said, fairly, you know, I'd say at least a 50% chance, if not higher, chance of failure. So, you know, maybe, you know, I think I've got somewhere between a 30 and 49% chance of actually making a nice hot dog today. Okay, so hopefully now I'll end up with a nice paste, which is looking okay. Like I said, I don't test my recipes beforehand. I just have an idea and I just kind of hope for the best. And this is definitely one of those things where I'm kind of definitely hoping for the best here. I'm going to throw in this mushroom and onion pasty mixture stuff into this big bowl. The only thing I don't like about these kind of blenders is that it's really difficult to get this bit out. And, you know, if you're watching my channel, and, well, first of all, like, you know, the reason why I buy stuff in the reduced section is a bunch of reasons, really. But one of the reasons is because I hate food waste. And that food waste extends to me getting every last drop out of every single thing I get. You know, within reason. That's my little cameo from Lollipop. She has most likely seen a small dog walking past the front window of the house. She will calm down eventually. She's been showing up recently, actually, which is quite cool. Okay, so I got my kind of miso-y. That's very salty, so I don't think I need much else, but I will add some more seasoning here. I was going to go in with some garlic powder. And some smoky pap. Again, they get that kind of smoky, meaty, hot doggy flavor. And then some of this herbs de Provence, which was also reduced, because it's got a herb in it that's literally called savory. So if you want something savory, then that might actually be too much herbs. Gosh darn it. Sorry, lollipop. And then I'm gonna just throw in bits of this mixture at a time, with no real idea of how much. I'm just gonna add it until it feels right. If you're interested in making more seitan stuff, by the way, I haven't made any. This is my first time I've ever used vital wheat gluten in this channel. It's wonderful stuff. Cheap. Like I said, very healthy, very, very high protein. I don't know what protein is in like steak or chicken breast or something like that, but this is like 75% protein. 75 grams per 100 grams is protein. So it's, you know, if you're looking to bulk up, get yourself a little summer bod, get in there with the seitan. I'm going to go much heavier. I think I need a lot more. And then I use this thing to kind of spread it around, and I'm just going to knead it like bread dough, basically, until I end up with something that kind of resembles, well, I just said bread dough. And then I'll roll it out into hot dog shapes. Like I said, quite experimental. I don't really look up recipes that much, very infrequently. If you want to see the one time I do look up a recipe, then check out my Jella chips, which I do recommend. I've made them again since, and they are delicious, very simple, very easy, and I'm sure I will revisit them. Okay, this is looking pretty good. And, you know, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you've probably seen or bought those kind of sausages. I've bought them, I've used them on this channel. I really like them. I really enjoy them. But sometimes you just want a big fat one. Careful. That's what she said. But sometimes you just want a nice, you know, just a big giant hot dog that you can't get in a 6-pack of cheap sausages. Okay, as you can see, right, this is coming together. It's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to kind of roll it, and I kind of wish I had left this chopping board without any onions for a while, but them's the breaks. That's probably still a bit too big. There's a method you can do which I just cannot be bothered right now. If you get a wet paper towel and stick it under your chopping board, it will... So this is not going to win any beauty competitions. But hopefully it'll win some sort of taste award. I didn't really think this through. Maybe I should have put some more, like, I don't know, beetroot or turmeric or something like that to a more attractive colour. But that's about the right length. Oh. There was a video that went viral many years ago of someone taking like a meatloaf. It was on like one of those kind of home cooking TV shows, and she took a meatloaf out of the oven, and it semi-resembled this, and it was heavily mocked, and quite rightly so. And I'm not saying that I don't deserve to be mocked. Okay, back on the pan. I really didn't think that through with the colour. And unfortunately, a lot of taste is with your eyes. And you won't actually be able to taste it. You'll only get your eyes. Little bread knife gonna chop this. Okay. I'm also going to throw these onions in actually right now with a little bit more rapeseed oil. Oh man, what have I done? You know those kind of themed restaurants where they blindfold you before you eat? Maybe I might need to kind of take a page out of that book. Jesus. Okay, I still have faith. I'm happy with the texture and the size. Visually, you know, could be better. But that's been said about me. And here I am. You know, good size, good texture, that's what they say about me. But I visually could be better. Alright, which is why you don't see my face. You can see my beautiful hands. And you can probably see my feet, my bare feet and my sandals. What am I looking for here? I got some ketchup. I got this mustard as well. Because I feel like, you know, like I said, this ketchup was reduced. I have this mustard too, which is a bit more of a classic one, but I don't know how much. Let's get a plate here. Excuse me. Don't know how much is left in it. It's pretty empty. So I might have to just go in with the Dijon, I'm afraid. Now, a lot of people would put the ketchup and stuff on top, but it's a fool's game because you end up with just ketchup going up and out the sides. You put it on the bottom, it's a smarter, for me anyway. It's a superior way of ketchuping a bun. It might be controversial. I'm gonna get a new spoon, if I have one. There we are. Just give this little... But yeah, that ketchup idea of the bottom might be controversial, but it's, you know, I think in time it can be accepted as a good alternative to the ketchup and mustard classic wiggle on top. Now obviously I can't do the wiggle anyway with Dijon. Plus, like I said, this dinner I repeat, not going to win any beauty awards. Oh Jesus, that's a bit too cooked as well. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, so my chance of failure have gone up slightly because this might be a little bit overdone. I'm intrigued whether this will be good, as I'm sure you are as well. At the end of the day, it'll be entertaining, it'll be fun. I'm still going to eat it. That's one thing as well. I've been making yellow sticker dinners for as long as I can remember. Mainly because I kind of had to, and I still do. But one thing I always did, especially when I make something experimental, you know what I mean? I could have easily turned this into like a mushrooms on toast or a mushroom soup or something like that and just dipped it. And that would have been fine, and it would have been okay, and it would have been nice and tasty, but it would have been a little bit dull to watch and for me to cook. I always like to try something, I try, if I can, not all the time, try to do something slightly different. Or at least interesting, something I'm hankering for. And I had a hankering for hot dogs today, so I decided to do this one. But basically, one thing I do is that if I fail, like if this doesn't work, I'll still eat it. Unless I make a catastrophic error. If it's just a bit crap, basically. No pun intended. If it's just a bit boring, if it's just a bit, you know, useless, then I'll definitely eat it, no matter what, and put it down to experience. unless I do something where it's completely inedible, like I make this completely burnt to a crisp, or I don't know, the flour inside is totally undercooked and I'm gonna get sick from it, or something like that, I'll always finish my meal because I really hate food waste, and that's one of the reasons why I'm making yellow stick of dinners. Here's the 3 reasons why I make yellow stick of dinners, which I explained I think in my very first video, which bears repeating. It's worth repeating. 3 reasons are: it's really, really good for your wallet. Number 1, you can eat well for really cheap if you just kind of be a bit more kind of open to cooking stuff in the reduced section. It's really good for my creativity in the kitchen. Like I said, you know what I mean? Like I'm making a hot dog out of mushrooms right now, which if I had the option of buying full price stuff, I'd probably just buy like a frozen pizza. Well, not anymore, vegan, but you know what I mean? I'd just buy something easy or, you know, simple. I don't know. I just feel like getting stuff in the reduced section forces me to be creative in the kitchen. And I quite enjoy that kind of forced thought. I like being forced to think and be creative. Because I don't like eating the same stuff all the time. And 3, which is just, it's an added bonus as well, it's really good for the environment. Because a lot of this food would be thrown away otherwise. I mean, those mushrooms, sorry, I don't know why I turned that off. Those mushrooms are 27 cents, and I got them fine, but like, I got those at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Would somebody else have come in and bought them? Maybe, maybe not. But if they didn't, then they would have been thrown in the bin. And nothing deserves to be discarded like that. You know? Humans, animals, people, vegetables. They all deserve a chance to be their best. And these mushrooms probably could have done something better in a soup. But, you know, interesting hot dog. They get to be part of YouTube history with a view of, you know, tens of viewers. Maybe, if I'm lucky. Might get tens. Pacing back and forth because, well, you just saw me finish a big massive pot of coffee. That was the end of a full pot of coffee. And also I'm just kind of waiting for this to kind of cook so I can taste. But we're on our way, you know. This on its own looks okay. I'm hoping the miso paste does a good job of adding some nice flavor to this. The paprika, you know what I mean? There should be some good stuff in there. And we're nearly done. It just feels a little bit soft. I might just chop this last bit off and just give it a tiny taste. You can kind of see it looks a little bit meaty inside. It doesn't look too bad now, actually. It looks kind of like beef, like a beef sausage, I suppose. Definitely needs a little bit more time. It's a little bit soft, a little bit chewy. Very herbs de Provence-y. Probably overdid it there. It tastes like mixed herbs with a subtle mushroom aftertaste. I'm kind of ruining my taste test now, but I'll say it again. Just a few more minutes anyway, if that. Sorry, I'm going to pace back and forth again. I'm a little bit today. I'd love to see what that says on the closed captions. You know the auto-generated captions when I said blah. What's it say? Leave a comment if you see it. Thanks to all my new subscribers, by the way. I think I had 6 or 7 the last time I checked, or was it 9? I don't know. Anyway, today I'm on 10. So thank you. I appreciate it. Write a comment, give me a like, give me a subscribe if you're new. If you're already here, thanks, appreciate it, like I said. Let me know what you would have done if you had an onion and a packet of mushrooms and a couple of other things that you're allowed to kind of bring to the table. What would you have done? I'd be interested to see. I'd love to do a live video at some point, but I feel like I need a bit more of an audience for that to have that kind of interaction. Plus, I have no idea how to technically set that up. But I'd love to do a live video where we kind of, as a collective, I'll be your vessel, and we all just kind of come up with something together. Not something that I just do. I'm like, hey, look what I'm doing. I'd love you to input that and tell me what to do. I think that'll be a fun thing. All right, I'm gonna call time on my mushroom hot dog. Go straight into my bun. You know what? When it first went in the pan, it was pretty dire looking. It doesn't look as disgusting now. Should we do a taste test? It's pretty good. I took a massive bite there. Too big of a bite, really. But what I got was some nice sharpness of the mustard, the fried onions, the ketchup is doing its job. The ketchup is kind of cinnamony, actually. It's quite nice. It's not your standard stuff. The hot dog itself is, like I said, probably a bit too herby, but it's definitely got, like, you know, it probably needs a bit more miso or more smoked paprika. It probably needs to be a little bit meatier. And it's something that I haven't really figured out myself yet, how to make things meatier as a vegan. But texture-wise, it's nice. You know, hot dogs shouldn't be crunchy or crispy or anything like that. It should be like a kind of a soft vessel almost. But it's tasty enough. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. Like, I think, you know, I said earlier on that I had a high percentage chance of failure, and I don't think I failed today. I think I nearly failed, and I think if this wasn't surrounded by the familiar hot dog ingredients of the ketchup, mustard, and the onions, I think maybe it wouldn't be that great. But I think I've just about managed to salvage it. And overall, I'm going to finish this. I'll take one more bite. Well, I'll do it afterwards. But anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Yellow Stick Your Dinner.